You know what? This is what I don't get. The NFL devalued the running back, but they took Kyle Pitts top 5. The Atlanta Falcons did.
Dog, that's it. I ain't want to talk about Kyle Pitts. I'm so glad I didn't draft Kyle in anything. Like I had a few opportunities, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna draft him.
You know, as quiet as kept since the Falcons drafted him when they did. I never once I saw how they took him, I knew I could never draft him in fantasy.
Why is that?
Because there's only two ways it's going to work out. He's either going to be Travis Kelce and I'm going to eat some crow, or he's not going to live up to what he's supposed to, and everyone's going to say the draft capital that was given up versus production ain't equaling a TE1.
It
was an unfortunate situation he was drafted to. Him and Drake London. Arthur Smith, you're a criminal. You know you should be coaching the offense of the fucking Baltimore Ravens. Hendrick, stop.
Dog, I have Drake London in one league. Ugh. You know what? When I drafted him, I was like, Hendrick's a real one. But yeah, I drafted Drake London. I thought I had a steal, and now it's like I'm trying to get this man off my team. I need the roster spot for someone who want to play.
Listen.
Hendrick's got a lot to say tonight.
Since you want to be childish.
Hendrick's got a lot to say.
Since you want to be childish. Listen, what were we talking about? Remind me again.
We were talking about Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Oh, yeah. Listen, in any league where I got Kyle Pitts, any league I got Drake London in, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm dropping him. I'm at this one. Listen, I'm only in 2 dynasty leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking about this earlier. I'm only in 2 dynasty leagues. No more of this, I don't want to drop dude, like I'm afraid. Listen, I'm in 9 leagues. I only have winning records in 3 of them. Now, granted, these are all 3-1 teams, but I have a lot of 1-2 teams or 1-3. Wait, 3?
Yeah, 1-3 or 2-1 or 0-3. Or
yeah. I got a good number of 1-3 teams, a couple of 2-2 teams, and only listen. I'm not playing no more games. If it's not in Dynasty and you're not producing or I don't see the vision in your season, I'm getting you the fuck up out of here, dog.
Dog, we'll talk about Dynasty later.
I'm so confused on what the fuck is going on, bro. I mean, no, I'm not, but what the fuck is going on? T. Higgins.
He gets a mulligan.
T. Higgins. I want to talk. I just want to talk.
It might be time to fight T. Higgins.
What is going on? Joe Burrow. Dog. I'm so glad I picked up Jordan Love in a lot of these leagues where I took you. This is criminal activity. Criminal activity. I don't get it. The fuck's going on?
Joe's hurt.
We got 10 weeks of regular season fantasy football left. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know that let's just say I put in a total of around 500-600 in fantasy. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we might be in the fucking red. We might be.
No, you're doing. Well, what's the winner of our redraft league on ESPN? What's the winner get? Because you're doing great in that.
I think it's 500.
Okay, so you'll get a good chunk of it back because I feel like you're going to win.
500 and 200 is the pots in that one. Listen, that team's doing pretty well. I mean, that team's doing pretty well. It's funny enough, Greg is hitting me. I hit up Greg earlier trying to make a trade because I'm trying to get some running back depth. And as you can, and we're talking about a redraft league here. As you can tell,
yep,
my redraft league is built around that team is built around 2 players. Who do you think those 2 players are?
Oh, let me go to your team real quick. I was looking at my team in just disappointment.
Come on.
Let me see. Your team is built around Stephon Diggs, of course, and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The stack.
So I hit up Greg trying to get Kyron Williams because a few weeks ago he was interested in T. Higgins. I probably should have took the bait. A few weeks ago he was interested in T. Higgins. I told him no, I wanted to give T. Higgins some time. Today I came back to him and said, my brother, you are 0-4. Let me give you some wide receiver depth. So I sent him a few options, most of which trying to get Kyron Williams. And now he said that the price of Kyron Williams and Devin Achane has gone up. Yet he's 0-4, and this is these. Listen,
that man shoot himself in the foot.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, I'm just trying to avoid last place in that league.
What?
Gotta win.
So this is my thing in a lot of these redraft leagues, maybe more so than dynasty leagues. Redraft leagues, you do want depth, but you only want depth for bye weeks. After that, your top guys are your top guys. So it kind of never benefits you to have too much depth in a redraft league because now you're kind of handcuffing your like you should have a consistent group of maybe like I don't know, however many players, your starting lineup plus like 3 or 4 reserves that's your bench. Like that, like a basketball team. Cut your lineup short. Yeah. I've never understood in a redraft league trying to have extra depth because like what are you doing with?
So I've always thought people do that, especially when they get terrible draft spots. They do that and try to use them as trade chips.
Which is kind of what I'm doing in certain leagues, but I drafted towards middle, a few back ends. It's funny that my teams that I drafted with the 10th and 12th pick, I'm 10-1. I mean, I'm 3-1 and 3-1 in both of those leagues.
Oh, you have the opportunity to get 2 solid. You don't get 1 elite, but you get 2 solid starters if you play it right. Like I did that, and I like an idiot drafted Saquon and Nick Chubb. So
I mean, I drafted in one league, I drafted Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. Then in another league,
that was our league, right?
Yeah, and then in another league, I took CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Adams.
Oh, that's solid.
And then I stumbled upon Kyren Williams, so that already kind of made up my RB1 already.
I'm in one league, an old work league from my days, when I worked in college athletics. Mm-hmm. I've sucked in that league every year, and now I'm throttled. Like I'm beating the piss out of everyone. It's no money.
It's
like we just play for fun.
Yeah,
it's free. Yeah. No one picked up Puka like 2 weeks ago, so he's my flex. Like I've just been beating the piss out of everybody.
Listen, do you remember after when we came back and I was telling you about I lost a matchup because the Bills couldn't cover a punt?
Yes.
That loss is going to haunt me all season because I am 1-3 in that league. But if that's the league where I'm trying to make the deal for David Montgomery and Evan Ingram.
I got you.
So like that's a league where my starter is Lamar Jackson. My RBs are Alexander Madison and fucking Miles Sanders and Raheem Mostert. But my wide receivers are Tyreek Hill, Puka, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, Zay Flowers. So I have this very solid wide receiver room, but I need to get a running back one, or I'm going to be in trouble for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about Zay. Would you trade Zay for David straight up?
Zay Flowers for David Montgomery in a redraft league? I don't know so it's funny. Trade, and I want to hear your opinion on this. Trade discussions are very dependent on the league.
Yes.
Because a lot of people let the league's perception dictate certain trades when they make them. And so depending on what type of league that is, so like in this particular league, people would rather not trade and avoid getting quote unquote getting the bad side of a deal versus taking the chance and trading just to say fuck it. So no, I don't think he would take that deal just because I don't think he would want to hear about. He saw Raheem Mostert and he said, I am very interested. And in my mind, I said, what? Okay. I mean, I was like, okay.
Let me see. I'm putting it in the trade analyzer now. Let's see, David Montgomery for Zay Flowers, straight up redraft, PPR 1 QB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, David Montgomery is 10 points valued by 10 more points.
Now, try one of those trades I sent you when I was texting. I think one was a.
Let's throw this on the screen.
Let's do it. What's up, Bam? So I'll read out Bam's note. Bam says, I remember when I stumbled upon Kyren Williams and dropped him before the rookie bag, rookie draft fumbled. Whew, Bam. Not
Hold on, let me
not
pull up
your
the-
best work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Speak On It, episode 117. I am the bro with the fro, and you know when you hear me, we got to go and talk about some things. The brother himself, Los D Mix, joined by the smoothest bald head on the East Coast, Mr. Danny Ocean himself. Danny, talk to the people while you pull this up.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I feel like this is starting to becoming a thing of the show. We open each show with like a trade analyzer, and we analyze a trade, whether it's between us, whether it's for the league or for you. So here we go. We got it up. Let me share my screen again.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to give some context, in a 10-team PPR league, I am 1-3. But if I read you my roster, this is not a 1-3 roster. So I need some RB depth because my wide receiver room, which includes Tyreek Hill, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, I need to offload a few of them so I can move away from my RBs because my current RBs are Alexander Madison, Miles Sanders, Raheem Mostert. It's rough.
So this is the first trade you sent me. So you will be giving up Dallas Goedert, Raheem Mostert, and Miles Sanders, and you will be receiving David Montgomery and Evan Ingram.
Yes, and so for our listeners, what Danny is reading are proposed trades that from me to the person who has Evan Ingram and David Montgomery.
So the trade analyzer says that you would lose that trade by a significant margin.
Okay.
What you could do, it looks like, is trade, maybe Miles for David straight up. So in their mind, David Montgomery's point value is 46, Raheem is 47, Miles is 43.
I'm curious to know which of the deals that I sent over would probably be viewed as the best.
Let's see. Let's put another one. So the second one was you would get Evan Ingram and David Montgomery, but you'd be giving up Garrett Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Dallas. Yep, same thing. It's saying do not make this trade. So let's do the last one. Let's see. So you'd be getting Najee Harris along with David and Evan Ingram. Najee, and you would be giving up Dallas, T. Higgins, Raheem. Oh, did I get? Hold on. Dallas, T.
How's it going, Kyle? Bam. So I am not trading away David Montgomery. I would be receiving. Pause.
Yeah. It's a good. All right. So this is the trade. D would be giving up Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, T. Higgins, and Raheem Mostert. He would be receiving Najee Harris, David Montgomery, and Evan Ingram. And the trade machine said, no, do not make this trade at all. I wonder if you took out.
Well, I led with Raheem Mostert.
Okay.
So I feel like that's going to be included. So what if we took out Miles Sanders? What if we took out Dallas Goedert?
So Raheem Mostert and T. Higgins for David Montgomery, Najee Harris, and Evan Ingram?
Maybe take out Najee Harris.
Okay. Still saying no. Wow, they really like T. Higgins.
Okay, so this is what I'm confused with. The Bengals offense does not look good. Raheem Mostert, even with injury history, I know he's healthy right now and playing well, but Devin A-Chain is a problem. And he's looking like he's going to get more and more carries. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if anyone has. I wonder if you could hold on. Because it said, like, I feel like you could do. Let's see if you. Yeah, that's too much. I don't know, because who do you want? Like, who's the?
I want David Montgomery.
So So David Montgomery's number one. Like and they need receiver depth.
No, he was interested in Raheem Mostert.
You could do Raheem for David straight up. Pretty. I mean, it's saying Raheem is more valuable, but it's only by like a point.
I would be curious to hear maybe Kyle and Bam's POV from the chat. Where do you guys stand on the value between Raheem Mostert and David Montgomery?
I feel like the thought process would be over the course of time. Jahmyr Gibbs, as the season goes on, Jahmyr would start to work himself into the offense more compared to David Montgomery. Like that would be my thought.
Are we sure about that? Because if you watch the Lions play and the way Montgomery runs between the tackles and pass protects, who's to say that they don't continue to lean on that, especially in goal line situations, and really use Gibbs as more of that swing back, Darren Sproles type back? Remember, this is a coach who Sean Payton was his mentor.
That's true.
And he comes from the days of the Darren Sproles, Mark Ingram days.
I mean, that should be. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is more close to Alvin Kamara than he is to Sproles. Like, I feel like they would start.
Kamara, same thing.
That's true. I just feel like they would feed him more. I have David Montgomery in Dynasty. Not Dynasty. Is it Dynasty? I did, and I have him in a couple leagues, and he won me this matchup this week. So I hope it doesn't change. But I mean, he was a top 15 pick. Jahmyr was. Like, you don't do that to.
But it's not like they're not giving Gibbs touches. He's still getting touches. I read somewhere where people were comparing Jahmyr Gibbs's current rookie season and where it's on pace with and what it's on pace with, and Christian McCaffrey's initial rookie season. And it's very similar numbers.
Oh, okay.
So
I did not know that. That's interesting.
I mean, this is what I don't get from people. Y'all want these teams to pay NFL running backs, but then y'all complain when they don't play them and want to keep legs fresh so that they can be their best when they need them and not to take all the punishment.
Yeah, I guess by the time, excuse me, if you put a lot of stock in Jahmyr, by the time he's the lead back, you're already out of the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but listen, I know we're fantasy people and we cover a lot of fantasy stuff, but we must remember the players do not give a damn.
At all.
At all.
They just want to win.
So they just want to win. And when you watch the Lions play in these games, especially in because that's a lot of football is situational. And the situations where David Montgomery is in making big plays, like with the way the Lions offense is usually grooving in these situations, it doesn't make sense to take him out in certain situations, especially when he's cooking.
Well, I enjoy when he's cooking because that means I'm probably going to win.
Bam says Mostert is 31 and having his best year. Sell high. Kyle asks, why aren't the comments appearing on screen? Yes, they are for me, Kyle.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Kyle. I think when I made the draft thing full screen, it deleted the comments from earlier. Yeah.
Okay. Live. Okay. Anyway, my bad, Kyle. So how do you feel about Bam saying Mostert is 31 and having his best season, so we should sell high?
I would lean into that because, like I said, Achane. How do you say his last name?
Achane.
Achane. I don't know why I keep saying Achane. Achane is just getting like I'm with Bam. Like over the course of time, it's going like he's going to eat those reps.
I think so too. And Achane's already he's already taken in this league. So if anything, if I get David Montgomery, yeah, he's in a little bit of a timeshare, but I trust his timeshare a little bit more.
Yeah, you made her like abandoned in Dynasty because I traded Achane.
Say what?
I said you made out like abandoned in our Dynasty because I traded him to you.
I finally won a fucking game. Can we talk about it? I'm on the board.
You're on the board. You know what's annoying about that? Bam came out like I was beating Bam's ass, and then all of a sudden, like he just made this comeback and won.
Dang.
Last minute. Like I was like Sunday afternoon at like 4:00, I had like a 78% chance of winning. And then
there's some bullshit. It be some bullshit.
And then I didn't.
Listen,
congrats, Bam.
It definitely be some bullshit. But I told y'all, once I start figuring out this lineup, the Horned Ducks, we're going to be We're gonna be a scrappy team. Give us a few years.
You know what it was?
What?
Isaiah Pacheco Sunday night. Like I was beating the piss out of Bam, and then Pacheco went off Sunday night.
He's from that Jersey area.
Yeah,
from that Jersey area. Is it? Since we're here talking about the NFL and a little bit of fantasy. Listen, the more this season goes on, the more I'm happy that I have Bam's first round pick. I'm telling you, y'all playing chess, I'm playing checkers. I think there's a better chance that Bam's the number 1 seed in the consolation tournament than Bam being the 6th seed in the playoffs.
Well, you know what? You gotta go through me because my team.
I'm going to be in that consolation tournament. No, I'm not. I'm going to be in the playoffs, actually. But if I make it to that consolation tournament, you got to win the tournament to get the number 1 overall pick. So
correct.
So then if your team is some ass, it doesn't benefit your team to be ass because you will get no worse than the 4th pick.
That's right.
So
like my team is good enough to win a consolation, but not good enough to win this league. But you know what? I said that last year, and then we went on a run.
But the consolation, listen, is the number 1 overall pick. And right now, I got 5 draft picks, all of which are not mine.
You want to trade some of those draft picks? I'll trade you Jonathan Mingo.
You should enjoy your evening fantasy with that offer. Kyle says I'd be willing to add to Mostert to get Montgomery. So I think Kyle was on my side then. He's filling me on. So Kyle, how do you feel about maybe like a Raheem Mostert and T. Higgins for David Montgomery and Evan Ingram? Because my tight end situation is bad. I currently have Dallas Goedert. I'm about to drop him and pick up Jake Ferguson off waivers. Okay, Danny.
Oh, Bam.
Danny. I don't think Bam knows quite how this thing works. Because he's thinking he's going to be drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. with my first round pick, but I don't think he's understanding. Okay, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why don't you explain?
Okay,
to him?
so Bam, let me explain this to you, brother, and why I'm talking the way I'm talking. Bam. There is no way to tank in this league. I made it a way that like you can't tank. So like the 4 teams that don't make the playoffs, you play in like a 2-week tournament. And you have to win that tournament to get the number 1 overall pick. So when I made the trade with you, I essentially banked on you being a French playoff team or the best of us 4 that don't make the playoffs.
So the 3 of them are in this chat right now.
Yeah. Who? Oh, yeah. Me,
you, and Bam.
Yeah.
Like we have.
Yes. So really, when I traded you my first round pick, I essentially banked on you getting better, but not being better enough to win the league, but good enough to win the tournament. So really, you need me to win to get that number 1 overall pick. But the way my roster is currently constructed, you might be winning it. And if you win the consolation tournament, which I'm banking on, Bam, then guess who really gets the number 1 overall pick? This guy right here. And I have a few picks. I don't really own any of my picks. So I own everyone else's.
You don't own it. No one owns my picks. I don't have any extra picks.
And I know Bam don't think I'm winning the consolation tournament. My brother, let me pull my roster up on screen. I just traded for Trevor Lawrence. That nigga already getting benched.
Sir,
I'm sick of it. Nah, I'm listen, that lineup, that matchup, I'm not going. I mean, that team is very I'll pull a Greg and bench my starters. Well, you can't do that, sir. You have to field a team. You gotta field a team.
Bam said we're gonna make this work. I mean, Bam, how serious? Bam, if you're really in the business of losing, I'll take some of those draft picks off your hands. I'll take some players off your hands.
You do have to field a team, though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because if we have 4 people, like if you pull your starters and everyone else is going to pull their starters, they're going to have 4 weeks of everyone not scoring any points.
And that's not good business.
Yeah, that's not good business. You got to field the team. Now, who you field?
So
that's up to you. but you got to ask yourself a question. What's funny is if I listen, imagine me not making the playoffs and then I lose first round. Listen, if I make it to the playoffs, man, that first round pick of mine is worthless. Not worthless, but it ain't gonna be as valuable. So you have to hope I lose but win.
The craziest scenario to be in.
Yeah. He has to hope I lose but win, and all I have to do is hope that he wins enough, but not too much. What's more realistic?
That's fair. Like, hey man, I love it here.
Brother, he says, I'll yeet myself before I give D the number one. Brother, you did when you got Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I'll yeet myself. Big paws.
We got him.
Whoa.
Danny, what are some of your other big thoughts from week 4 across the National Football League?
I'm gonna keep it light. I have a few big thoughts, but man, I had so much fun watching the Toy Story broadcast.
Oh, we here? Are we here?
I had so much fun.
Listen, you know I stay on the West Coast.
Yes.
Why is my big doofy 27-year-old ass up at 6:30 a.m. watching fucking Woody crank that shit after every Jacksonville Jaguars touchdown? My man Woody was cranking that shit with the leg. Yeah, yeet. Whoa, yeet. Oh. But listen. The halftime show. What was my man's name?
I missed the half. So I was traveling. I was in the mountains, so I was losing service. So I got home to catch a little bit of it. Then I had to leave. So I got bits and pieces, but the stuff I did watch, like Slinky, like the dog being the first down marker, like
they had the claw setting the ball.
Yeah, they had the alien camera. That was so much fun.
Yo, listen. Yo, Bam, what's good with you, son?
Hey, dog. Bam.
For those, this is an audio adventure, Danny. For those who are listening to the audio adventure, Bam in the chat says, what about Slinky backing that ass up? Bam, I want you to know that here at the Going for Two Network, we
ain't no bestiality going over here.
Yeah, there is no bestiality going on here. Kyle said even Ingram has been getting solid targets. I agree. See, I think Kyle was with me on this trade. Yeah, I'm gonna try to push them.
But Bam, fan bus. See you next week.
Okay. Yo, Bam is wild. He's in the chat and he says he was caked up. That's all. Listen, maybe Slinky did have a lot of ass, but
yo.
Listen, the Toy Story broadcast was hilarious. My favorite play, I think a lot of you have seen it, is Bijan Robinson just absolutely going crazy on this run. I mean, it's what's funnier? What was a funnier watch? The Bijan juke run or the pick six with the feet blazing?
Oh, the blaze. And then after that, anything with Booger McFarland was hilarious. Like his avatar was hilarious. Booger explaining how football is
I ain't seen you that slim since your playing days.
Dog, having Booger being the voice for the next generation on how to play football is like they were getting chippy on the field, and Booger was like, "All right, now there's no need to get that chippy between the lines. We're just gonna play football." Like Booger was perfect.
Listen, they was explaining all the rules of football, and I was like, yo, imagine sitting there with your kids explaining this violent ass shit in real, imagine sitting there watching real football, explaining this violent ass game to a 5-6-year-old. Hey, little Jimmy. So you get 4 chances to get 10 yards. No, you get 3 chances to get 10 yards. If you don't get up to 3, normally you can either punt the ball to pin the position back, or you can go for it. But if you don't get it, you know what I'm saying? Wow! And that's when you just see this headshot. Like, I don't know. That's what we really want to be showing our children. But
like
I thoroughly enjoyed the Toy Story broadcast. I thought it was. I thought once they got the glitches out, it was quite a watch.
Shout out to the NFL for trying to get a new generation of CTE victims in, right? Reports like parents aren't signing their kids up to play tackle football, and like, what can we do? We got it.
We
Toy
got
Story.
it. But it's smart though, because if you're ESPN and you know you're a subsidiary of Disney, then you have that ability to reach into that cross-functional bag like
Yeah.
that. If you can, definitely got to do it. So
It's
shout out.
genius.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait for some of the numbers to come out. I might Google some of the results because y'all thought that was the last. No, that was the first. They did it because remember in the NBA they did the Marvel theme game.
Yeah.
And that had some good interest as well. So they're gonna try. They came back with the NFL and Toy Story, and ESPN knows Americans and NFL football is like crack. They can't get enough of it. If y'all think there won't be another,
I'll watch it. It's
there will
crazy because
be
right, the Toy Story gets the kids when they're like 5 to 7. Nickelodeon will catch you from 7 to 12, and by then,
hey, you used to seeing this the slime zone.
Genius.
That's not what Drake meant by sliming you out either, by the way.
Hey yo,
What, you got a surprise winner of the week?
Yeah, Brandon Staley. No matter how stupid whatever dumb decision Brandon Staley makes, it seems to work in his favor. He loves going on fourth down in his own territory, in minus territory, and somehow it works out for him.
First and foremost, what's up, Gladys? How's it going?
What's up, Gladys?
Gladys. My surprise winner came from a game where nobody really wanted to win the damn game. Oh. And no, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about the Raiders and the Chargers, although no one really wanted to win that game. I'm talking about up in the Windy City between the Broncos and the Bears. I'm watching this game, and I'm watching my fantasy teams play against people who have DJ Moore and Justin Fields, and I'm saying, huh? The fuck's going on here? Like, what the fuck's going? Like, why are they turning up like this? Dead ass. I'm watching the Bears. Like, why are y'all turning up? Like y'all aren't good. Why are y'all turning up like this?
You know what's very annoying about that? This is the first week I said DJ Moore.
Oh, that's even worse. But you made the right decision, because I probably would too. So now they get up big, and I'm like, well, now I'm looking at Denver and saying, damn, Sean Payton. I mean, I know you've been in the butt for a little bit, but my brother, are you washed like this? Like, is Russ washed? Like, what's going on? Sure enough, two teams showed up to play. Neither one wanted to win, but guess what? The Bears really didn't want to win.
No, they did not.
I haven't seen disappointment like that from a GM sitting in a booth. Oh, brother. Probably since any professional sports team. Let me think about it. I haven't seen disappointment like that from a GM watching a professional sports team in a booth since I watched any of the professional teams outside of the Liberty play in New York City, because there has been a lot of disappointment in the city that never sleeps. Between
the Dolan shot,
between the Jets, the Giants, the Knicks, and the Nets, a lot of people are in hell right now.
And the Mets, and the Yankees,
and the Mets. Like, it's stinky in New York. But it's funny because it was all good just a year ago. Y'all had Jalen Brunson in the Knicks, KD, Kyrie. They left. Now the Knicks, they getting booted out of here. The East, Giannis and teamed up with Dame. We'll get into it.
The city is literally underwater.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I thought that was fake.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I couldn't believe it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Bam said he dropped Cole Kmet last week. Sorry, brother. I think I know who's about to pick him up. Speaking of the Bears, are they imploding? Do you see it? You've heard the rumors with Chase Claypool. Yo, first off, Chase Claypool.
Genius.
You clearly don't want to be playing for the Chicago Bears. You're upset with the Pittsburgh Steelers for sending you there. I get it. But you might be a bust, my brother.
Nah, Chase, get released. Come play slot in Philadelphia. You'll be fine.
Y'all got Zacchaeus.
He's not a long-term solution.
Why not? He's good.
He's not bad. I'm just saying.
Why Jalen don't like Devonta Smith?
Say what?
Why Jalen Hurts don't like throwing to Devonta Smith?
What you mean? He loves Devontae. Devontae had a big game week 2 against the Vikings,
Need him to
and
do
there's
it
been
more
AJ the
often.
past 2 weeks.
I need him to do it
I mean,
more.
it just varies. It just varies. Devontae game coming soon because we've had 2 big AJ games. The Goddard game that's coming soon.
Fuck him. I don't care when he have that damn game, bum ass. Yo, ladies and
But to
gentlemen, if
answer
you
the
play
question-
fantasy football and you do not own Travis Kelce or TJ Hawkinson, you should pick up, or Evan Ingram, you should pick up these tight ends with like a grain of salt and just have very little feelings for them. That again goes back to my initial question that I started this pod off. How did the NFL devalue the running back and not the tight end?
I'm going to answer your question about the Bears first. The only way you can clear a foundation for Caleb Williams is to implode what you have now. So yes, they are imploding, but they are just clearing the way for Caleb. We're here.
Listen,
They would
Again, I
have
say-
pick 1
go ahead.
and pick 2 right now.
okay, you could have pick 1 or you could have pick 2. Kyler Murray 2.0 ain't fixing your problems. You have no offensive line. You
Nope.
you don't really have an offensive scheme. You don't really have an offensive identity. Your running backs are good, but you don't really have a good solid power back that can really just hammer some yards away. But maybe because you don't have an offensive line that can block anybody. So before you went out and got a wide receiver 1, but your wide receiver 2 and 3 are fucking jokes. Really, sincerely. Now you have a tight end who's decent, but if all you really have from a receiving threat is your wide receiver 1 and your tight end, oh brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a long day for a lot of people. And then you gotta have your defense on the field. Like, yo, drafting Caleb Williams, aka Kyler Murray 2.0, and getting along with if Justin Fields, who's a bigger, better quarterback, isn't solving your problems, I doubt the smaller mimic of Cliff Kingsbury's fraud of a system is going to be any much better. But that's
You didn't let me finish. Then you get Marvin Harrison Jr. with pick number 2.
Yeah, get that. But use that number 1 overall pick on like an edge rusher, a left tackle, or use the number 1 overall pick on Marvin Harrison. You go out here and take Caleb Williams number 1 overall. I'm telling you right, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I'm not saying it's the
And
right
maybe
thing to
you
do.
give Justin Fields a competent offense because Matt Eberflus don't know what the fuck he doing. Matt Eberflus, you're actually so lucky that last year the only person who could have done worse than you was Nathaniel Hackett, and he got fired. But guess what, Matt Eberflus? It's you now, buddy. We can see it. You're not good. Tell me I'm wrong.
Listen, I'm not saying it's the right move, but my agenda is getting Justin Fields to Atlanta. And it's been that since day one.
Desmond Ridder, brother. He's bad.
I was about to say, do you have another biggest loser for the weekend? Because that's my biggest loser.
Oh, man. Yes, I do have a biggest loser, actually.
Oh, that's not Desmond Ridder?
No.
Okay, I'm listening.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah, he got his ass beat.
Not in a regular way, though. That's the worst loss of his career.
Yeah.
Worst loss. Now, Bill, I've been a Daniel Jones guy since the beginning. I still got faith in Daniel Jones. Here's what I'm going to say about Daniel Jones, and here's what I'm going to say about Mac Jones, the Jones brothers.
Okay.
They're not bad quarterbacks.
Okay.
They need some help. Football is the ultimate team sport, yet when it's clear that the quarterback don't have no help, people just let that shit slide.
So let me get this straight. It is not Mac Jones' fault that he threw across the field.
That was bad. Nah, that was Mac Jones. But some of the other times, the brother's scared. He running for his life. His receivers can't create no separation. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, I didn't tell you go sign Corvette.
Yeah. But Bill don't like paying the receivers. And what's the offensive? What's his name? Bill O'Brien's got a good offensive system. He just needs the talent to be able to execute.
Didn't Bill O'Brien coach Mac Jones at Alabama? Wasn't that his OC at Alabama?
Yeah, and he was a finalist for the Heisman with his teammate Devontae Smith on his way to a national championship.
Nothing makes me happier than knowing the Giants fans thought they had Devontae, and then they didn't. God is good, man.
Yo, did you watch the Manning cast version of the broadcast yesterday?
No, I did not. I really wasn't paying attention. Like I was not interested in that game at all. Like it didn't take long. I did see clips of Peyton losing his mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know, if you want to really watch an analyst and see what good quarterback play versus bad quarterback play looks like, watch a Monday Night Football game with Peyton and Eli and just stare at Peyton the entire time. Don't watch the game. Stare at Peyton the entire time, because Peyton's reactions will let you know what type of QB play you have. When Peyton is disgusted at some QB play, he get this one face. He get the shaking
his face
head.
turned so red. Did you see the pick six? His face turned so red.
He be sick to his stomach, because you know what it is? It's the QB in him. Like, yeah, what the fuck was he looking at when he threw that?
You also know what it is. He's used to seeing his brother play like that, and he just tired of it.
See, that's that Eagles hate.
Yeah, that's that hate.
That's that
dog. I saw two times some Eli Manning. Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer.
Go ahead. Now go ahead. Keep
Eli
talking.
Manning. Go ahead and pull up. I know he has 2 rings. We have 1. I get it.
No, that's not. That's not.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I'm pulling up. You gonna go back and talk about Eli and say he not all that. So now I got to go back and look at starting quarterbacks for the Philadelphia Eagles, and let's have some conversations.
Let's have a conversation.
Well, Doug Peterson actually started for the Eagles. I didn't know that.
He did. Doug Peterson was the Eagles. Yes, he was. He got there before Randall Cunningham, right? Or was he? No, he got there for Donovan.
Donovan McNabb.
It was because Doug. We got Donovan.
Yeah. Then Donovan took over in 2000.
Yep.
And y'all had 9 years of Donovan McNabb. 5 straight NFC championship appearances or something along those lines.
Yep.
No rings. Next. Then y'all have my boy Mike Vick. I remember that 2010 Mike Vick team. You know who they lost to? Packers, Super Bowl champions. Then I remember the 2011 Mike Vick. He wasn't bad. I want a bad team. That was Andy. Yeah, I want a bad team. 2012 Mike Vick and Nick Foles. That's when I said, this might be scary. And then the next year, Nick Foles actually won the job.
Yes, he did.
Then you had 2 years of Nick Foles.
Yep.
Before y'all brought in Sam Bradford.
I remember that. Kevin Cobb got hurt and Mike Vick stepped in. You're right. And then Sam Bradford.
Y'all
Sammy Sleeves.
Sam Bradford.
Sammy Sleeves. That was Chip Kelly.
And Mark Sanchez.
Yep.
Then y'all were so bad that year that y'all had the opportunity to draft Carson Wentz.
Yes.
So then you had the 2016 Carson Wentz. He was all right. 2017. That's when he was
elite,
quote unquote MVP.
He was.
And then he got hurt. Then Nick Foles took over, led y'all to a championship. Yeah, I respect it. But after he won, it was always questions. Man, is Carson Wentz good enough, or is it Nick Foles' team? Guess what? Y'all both ass. So after a couple years of being some ass, now we landed at Jalen Hurts. After 1 year of starting Jalen Hurts, now they just paid him last year. Made him a big bag. So I'm a little bit confused when I hear you speak on giant quarterback play when my brother, your QB history ain't too much better. Actually, it's not better.
My brother,
by any stretch of the American.
My brother in Christ, I have the best Eli Manning stat ever. Eli Manning was 118 and 118 in his career. He was mid. He was 500. That is his career record.
Eli, who better all time? Eli, Mike Vick, Donovan McNabb.
Who was a better quarterback or who was more successful? Because those are two totally different things.
Both. No, not even successful because Eli's the most successful. Who's better quarterback?
Michael Vick.
Best out of the three?
It's like Vick has been my favorite quarterback as long as I've been alive. So it's like, for me, if you put McNabb over Vick, fine. But for me, it's like Vick and Andy Reid's offense was.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're telling me you think Donovan McNabb's a better quarterback than Eli Manning?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do this. Eli Manning interceptions.
That fat bucket of lard, you gonna sit here and tell me was a better QB
Yes.
than Eli Manning? His own wide receiver got mad because the day before the Super Bowl, he was out drinking and partying. And you gonna sit here and tell me that's a better quarterback than my man who got his own passing academy, been born, raised in nothing but football, don't know nothing else but football. And you gonna tell me the fat slob that the day before his potential Super Bowl victory, he went out and partied with some hoes? You gonna tell me you really think he a better QB than Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl winner, one of very few QBs that have actually beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
Let's do this. And we can put this on the Twitter account.
What does he do better?
We can take a poll on who would you rather take, Donovan McNabb or Eli Manning, and I don't know what the stakes will be, but
I think you're biased because you're an Eagles fan. My brother Donovan McNabb was a kind of a two-pack of ass.
Right, let's take it to the chat. Let's take it to the chat first.
He wasn't good. He was what's above mid, but not mid enough to be good.
Average.
That's Donovan McNabb.
Still better than Eli Manning.
He can't be. He's a champion twice over.
See,
one-time champion.
That's what I'm saying. Are we talking about most successful? Or are we talking about better skill? Because I'm taking both. Donovan.
Eli's better in both.
Thank you. What was that, Bam? Eli got carried by 2 spectacular catches and all-star defenses. Talk to him about.
So this is where y'all lose me with the 2 spectacular catches. Someone had to throw them bitches.
Oh, fuck. Someone over there. Eli was going to throw a pick, and someone said
someone had to throw him. Right. He had to put it in order for it to be that spectacular of a catch. It had to be enough touch on it.
It had to be that awful. It had to be that awful of a throw.
You can hate. The ball had to be placed exactly where it was placed for those catches to be catches.
No, we're taking this to the street. So tonight we are going to post a poll.
So hold on. When Tom wins 6 rings, due in large part to his success on offense, but also having one of the greatest defensive minds ever on the other side of the field. Y'all don't say nothing. That's carrying.
No, Tom got 6 of them things. You don't get 6 by accident.
But you don't get 6 with only offense. Brother.
Tom came back from 28-3.
Brother, I sat through that 2018, 27 or 20, whatever. I sat through that second Rams Super Bowl. Tom didn't win that one. He just made enough plays.
Kyle, what? Y'all,
thank you. Are you shitting
Kyle
me?
Said Eli's
You're crazy, bro. Go back. Listen, when Eli,
we do this right now. Nope.
Let me tell you something. On the people Eli Manning beat on the roads to winning these Super Bowls trumped all. He has beaten quarterbacks on the way to winning championships that are tenfold better than Donovan McNabb could ever be in his fucking sleep. So how is Donovan McNabb better than Eli? What are we talking about here?
Right the hell now.
What are we talking? That is
no.
Listen, I can't listen. None of Eli's wide receivers have ever came out and said my man was partying before the Super Bowl. Just off that, he don't have enough hustle. His fat lard ass out there partying with some.
Nope, we posting this.
Can a non-MVP win can a non-QB win the MVP this year? Can a non-QB win the MVP? Can Christian McCaffrey be the league MVP this year? Does he have a case?
He does. Here's the thing, though. Jettas deserves to be MVP, but his team is so sorry. Jettas is going. He should be the MVP. Jettas is on fire.
Hold on. I'm gonna look at his stats.
Like I think Tyreek is close, but Jettas. And for all those who don't speak ethnic, Jettas is Justin Jefferson.
Yes, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, the only person close to him is Puka. So Justin has 543 receiving yards on 33 receptions. Puka has 501 yards on 39 receptions. Justin has 14 catches over 20 yards. Come on, dog. What are we talking about, fam?
Listen.
What are we talking about?
You know it's funny. I'm looking at the stats too, and I'm just sitting here like, yo.
What are we talking about here, man?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because Kurt don't do nothing but throw this dude the football. Listen. Everyone's always like, everyone's always like, the meme where it's Dak and he's just throwing the ball. He's like, hey, Amari down there, fuck it. Kurt really just be like, yo, Jettas, he down there somewhere throwing. Honestly, I don't think he likes throwing to many other people outside of him and TJ Hawkinson. That's the one thing about Kirk, though. Kirk gonna get you your stats and he gonna get you paid. He gonna get you paid.
You're gonna lose, but you're gonna get paid.
He's not. He hasn't lost as much as we think.
I mean, this year. I'm talking about like this year. Jettas.
How about Adam Thielen suddenly with 27 catches?
I mean, who the hell that's Bryce Young gonna throw to? He the only one who can run a route. Adam Thielen's the only adult in the room.
This is what I'm kind of confused on what the Panthers are doing, because they kind of need to surround Bryce Young with talent, but they traded away their all-pro running back and their Pro Bowl wide receiver.
So apparently there's this thing going around that they're looking for a wide receiver 1 for the trade deadline. But what do you have to give? You traded everything to get Bryce. Like, remember 2 years ago, the Rams offered them 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, and they were like, nah, we're good. Insane.
Panthers are in hell. Panthers are. Listen, if the Panthers were a GM team, their team might look a little bit like Bam's. NBA talk.
Yeah.
Are we here?
Yeah, let's do some NBA.
Listen, one of the biggest trades, but most anticipated trades of the offseason happened. Damian Lillard traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. That sent DeAndre Ayton to Portland and Yusuf Nurkic to Phoenix. Let's pause there. What are your thoughts on this trade?
I respect that when Giannis speaks, Milwaukee moves. That front office, Giannis the past couple months been talking about something. I ain't signing no extension. I'll go wherever to win a championship. And they said, no, brother. You saying right here, we're going to get you Dame Lillard. I love this trade. I know people are talking about losing Drew Holiday and what that means defensively. And yes, you do lose some defensive holding by trading Drew for Dame. But your competition, we're going to talk about the Celtics in a minute. The Celtics are saying, screw defense. We're just going straight offense. So it's not like the Celtics defense is what it was when the adulterer was the coach. Like they're abandoning that philosophy.
All right. Ime Udoka.
Listen.
And we got to be a little bit more respectful because he was coach of the year and he did take a team to the final. Let me tell you something, my brother. All Ime did was cheat on his girl. Men have been doing that literally since the beginning of time.
But she is Nia Long, fam.
Brother, Beyonce got you.
I know, and he crazy. It's not about looks. It's about other things. I understand. But
no, listen. This is a public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen of the viewing and listening audience. I'm here to let you know that sometimes it's not about looks. It's not about someone being unhappy. Sometimes when you get cheated on, somebody in the room was horny.
Yes.
Like the end.
A hard peen has no conscience.
Like point, period, blank, end of statement. Sometimes somebody was just horny, and you just.
Hey, I'm not arguing against that, but
your baby, your honey, your sweetie boo boo, she was a little horny. Now she got a little dick in the back from somebody else.
Hey, all right. So out of all the guards in the East compared to Jesus, man, that's almost as bad as a Slinky comment. But that's a dog. Jesus, man.
Now, Glass is right. There is no excuse.
Just cut that
There is
off.
no excuse.
Thank
Sometimes it just happened, though.
No, ain't no sometime that just happened.
Okay, but back to the NBA.
Yeah.
So, listen. My thoughts to this Dame trade, when I saw it, I said the Bucks. How the fuck did you get to the Bucks? And then I thought about it. I said, yo, the GM, like the front office in Portland, they had some beef with Damian Lillard. And they said, oh, You're telling us that you only want to go to Miami. Well, guess where we're gonna make sure you don't go? Miami. And they said we don't care what the package is.
Did you read the Bleacher Report?
Oh yeah, pissed
by
me
Chris
off.
Haynes. Dog, they haven't talked to Miami since Summer League. That was hilarious. Like they set up a meeting and didn't even go to it. Hilarious.
Now it made me wonder, like, were the Blazers ever serious about trading him to the Heat? No.
I think they were until Dame flexed his muscle. I don't think they like that at all.
He was just, I guess my man said he was just hoping for a little compensation for what he's been doing, all this time. But listen,
I will say,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would say this. Let this be a reminder to you all that pro sports is a business. So next time one of these athletes responds to you saying "fuck you" and your fantasy team, now you see why. It's an ugly business. It's an ugly business.
9 to 5. Oh no, is that me? Are we good? It says,
again?
Are we good? I think I had an internet issue. This goes to your 9 to 5 as well. They will get rid of you the moment the money looks a little funny. So always look out for you. Always look out for number one.
Did the Blazers say Dame? Bam asked, did the Blazers say Dame announcing where he wants to go is basically tampering? Oh, please. Kevin Durant came out and said, I want to get traded to the Phoenix Suns, and the Nets sent him to the Phoenix Suns. So
yeah. I don't like the way the Trailblazers treated Dame. Like, for those who read the Bleacher Report, like they cut all contact from Dame and his agent, and then they go to Dame's house, and that was the funniest line in the whole story. So for those who didn't read, the Blazers GM went to have a sit down meeting with Dame at Dame's house. Dame kind of figured out they're not going to work with the Heat to get a trade done. So Dame was like, "Never mind, I don't want to be traded." And the GM was like, "No, you don't come back from this. You out of here, buddy." Hilarious.
Is that not crazy?
That is in his house. Looked him dead in the eye. I was like, "No, you out of here."
Listen, he lucky he didn't get the shit slapped out of him in his house. I can listen. I was in disbelief. I said, "What's the beef?" Literally, now you know what they said. We've already drafted Scoot, buddy. When that happened, you were out of here.
And so that's the thing. That's another thing in the piece Chris Haynes talked about. Like they told Dame, "Yeah, sit out these last 9 games. It'll help our draft value, and then we can trade that high draft pick to get veteran help to help, take us to a championship." And then they go and draft Scoot. That's it. Like you said, like, oh, that's it. We're done here.
Yeah. Tell a man that in his house, Saddle.
Dog.
Listen,
there's only.
I know he's from Oakland, but he could have got okayed or KO'd. Bam says, I feel like if you wanted to spite Dame, you sent him to Detroit, not to go play with Giannis.
Detroit ain't have the facilities to handle the Dame trade, big boy.
Yeah.
There's nothing on that Detroit roster outside of Joe Harris that people want. Ain't shit. Maybe Sadiq Bey. No, Sadiq Bey is in Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah, I think so. So because of this Blazers trade for Blazers trade with Milwaukee, this allowed the Blazers to then trade Drew Holiday to the Celtics and got Rob Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and some picks back. What are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, the Blazers have come out really, really well out of they've turned Dame into all these assets. Like this is a great job by the Blazers front office on the transactional side. The human side we just talked about, a lot left to be desired. But if you're a Blazers fan, you got Scoot, you got Anthony, you got a young core. We'll talk about the final piece of that puzzle in a second. You got Time Lord. You can trade Malcolm Brogdon for more once his elbow heals. Like if Malcolm plays at the beginning of the year and he shows some promise, a contending team is going to trade for Malcolm Brogdon. He's a contending. Really good defender. He is a good defender. He can handle the ball.
Great Los Angeles Laker.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you can, and you still have Malcolm there for a team that's looking for, you know, an on-ball defender and who can initiate your offense while, you know, your superstars on the bench. So they're not done yet. So if you're a Blazers fan, you have to be over the moon right now.
Ceiling for the Blazers this year, you think?
If everything works perfectly, there'll be a play-in team. Like they'll be playing for that last playoff spot.
I have a bold prediction about the in-season tournament.
Okay.
Because everyone wins money and a trophy, right?
Yep.
A lottery team will win.
Absolutely. Because a lottery team, that's going to be their only taste of competitive playoff type basketball. So yes, I think the lottery teams are going to take that more seriously. And teams that have younger players like the Blazers, like the Rockets, who don't have money like LeBron and Steph. Oh, I can get an extra $1 million. Let's get this money.
Yeah, extra $1 million, brother. They're getting like 500,000. I think they're doing more than just getting some extra $1 million.
But I'm saying, like, if you're not as established as like Golden State's not going to take that, you know, Boston's not going to take that, they're not going to take it seriously. But if I'm the Spurs, if I'm the Rockets, you know, if I'm the Blazers, it's a bunch of these young, that's going to be like the highest level competitive basketball they're going to get all year. Yeah, take it seriously.
We had here that James Harden was not reporting to training camp, but reports are that he actually plans to show up. He might have actually showed up today.
Yep.
So hopefully they're getting that figured out. It's going to be so interesting during the season when the Sixers still haven't traded him, and James Harden is like he's playing mad well. The Sixers are probably second, third, or fourth in the East, and he is waiting to get traded. And we're about 50 games in.
Well, I think we'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, I ranked my Eastern Conference teams, and whew, I don't care how good James Harden is playing. We'll talk about it in a second.
No, let's talk about it. Let's get into this Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Well, actually, one thing, Jimmy Butler. Last year, I was not familiar with your game. This year, listen. Last year, you had me with them damn dreads. This year, you cannot fool me.
Here's the thing about Jimmy and Gladys know we're going to do WNBA in a couple minutes. Jimmy just wants that picture to come up on DraftKings when he ruined your parlay. And he wants that the picture you see. When he's on your fantasy team and you lose because of him, that's the picture you're going to see. And it's hilarious.
Okay. I can get behind it. Back to the Eastern Conference, though. What are your thoughts on the Eastern Conference after the Drew Holiday trade, after the Damian Lillard trade? I mean, where do you think we land with the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Knicks, the Cavs, some of these teams that we expect to be in that Eastern Conference playoff hunt? Where do you think we're landing at with them?
So I ranked them. I have the Bucks 1, Celtics 2. The only thing about the Celtics to me is you're putting a lot of pressure on Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis to protect the paint for you. And if any, Horford is 37, and we all know what happens when you rely on Porzingis for anything important or relevant. I'm going to leave it at that. As a Mavs fan who got to watch Kristaps as he bitched and moaned that he didn't get the ball.
Yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I'm jaded.
I'm saying Dallas,
I like a crazy fire edit to that. I need to send it to you.
You should.
You sound like you jaded.
In Dallas, he was the second option to Luka, and he complained that that they didn't run enough plays for him. In Boston, you're the third wheel behind Jason and Jalen. Whatever, man. So Bucks 1, Celtics 2, Miami 3, Cleveland 4, Philadelphia 5. My surprise team, the Indiana Pacers 6, New York 7, Toronto 8th.
Hey. Now this you right here talking about Kristaps. Come on.
Nope.
You jaded, my brother. Gotta let it go. The white boy, you put your faith in 2 white Europeans. See what happens when black people put their faith in Europeans.
Okay. I just know Kristaps was complaining to Rick Carlisle because he didn't think that he was getting enough plays run through him, and he was the number 2 option behind Luka. He's number 3. He's number 3 right now, and he's being asked to carry the defensive load with Al Horford and protecting the paint. All right, man.
You gotta let that hurt go.
All right, man. All right, talk to me in March. Talk to me in April.
Let that hurt go. Luka got help. Kyrie came back.
I'm not. This isn't. I'm just saying. I've watched the season of Kristaps Porzingis. Good luck.
That's hate. Listen, in the East, I agree with you on that rankings. I would say one team that I'm very curious on is the New York Knicks. I need to see where they kind of fall, because I think with how the tables are turning in the East, I think the Knicks are either going to be very good or a 3-pack of ass.
I'm going with the 3-pack of ass. For me, I think that for me it's the Pacers. Like we working with Rick Carlisle working with some in Indiana, and then Toronto. Like, are you good enough to make the playoffs, or are we talking about in 2 months trading OG Anunoby and Pascal and some other parts to start this rebuild? Because I feel like Toronto can't make up their mind. Like, they're in the Dame trade talks. Okay, so you think you're a contender, but the past couple of years you've barely made or you've missed the playoffs altogether. So I'm very intrigued to see how the Raptors unfold.
Chicago, y'all got 25 games.
Yeah, we don't even, Chicago, Orlando, Detroit.
Y'all got 25 games before I say blow it up.
You got 10.
Nah, 10's too not enough. Speaking of basketball, let's shift over to the WNBA. My brother, I'm going to let you do an ISO. Give the people your latest reactions from the WNBA playoffs. Seems like the finals are set, right? Liberty and Aces, we here, just like we said.
Yeah, so Liberty, that starts on Sunday. For those of you who didn't watch the biggest brain fart ever. The Aces swept Dallas. I was really shocked by that. Asia really just dominated. I thought Dallas would use their bigs to kind of beat Asia up. Nothing worked. So Dallas has been on a break for a while. Connecticut took the Liberty to 4 games. A little shocked by that. I thought it'd go to 5. No, those were tough games. Like the Aces Wings games were really easy. Like the Aces dominated game 3. The Wings were up, and I was like, okay, the Wings are going to win at home. And then Vegas said, no. And I think they went on like a 17-0 run in the last 3 minutes to send them home. Like that's championship stuff. So the final starts Sunday. Games are Sundays and Wednesdays. And I think if there's a game 5, it's it's Sunday, Wednesday. And I think if there's a game 5, that's on a Friday night. I think it's going to go 5. Aces have home court advantage. I'm going to pick Aces in 5. I will say the X factor for this series is not going to be Sabrina Ionescu, and it's not hate, but it's going to be Betnijah Laney. Betnijah Laney from New York. She came up big time in games 2 and 3. She can guard 4 positions. She hits the 3. She covers up a lot of defensive deficiencies. Or if Stewie needs to take a break, and Stewie, she plays both ends. But like if you don't want Stewie guarding, I'm trying to think, Chelsea Gray, you can put Betnijah Laney on Chelsea Gray to kind of give Stewie a break. And you can put Stewie like on Kelsey Plum, or if Stewie needs to go guard Asia, which Stewie can, she can go do that. For me, it's about 3-point shooting for the Aces. Can Kelsey and Jackie Young outshoot Sabrina Ionescu? If they can, they'll win. If they can't, they won't. And that's pretty. Asia and Stu are going to cancel each other out. They're superstars. Sabrina and Betnijah, who can outscore between Chelsea, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and Kelsey Plum need to outscore Sabrina Vandersloot and Betnijah Laney. I think they can if they're hitting their threes. This is not going to be a series. If Vegas is hitting their threes, that's a wrap. Like, you can pack this up in 3. But if they're not, and New York has shown they can defend the perimeter really well against Vegas, I think it's going to go 5. And game 5 is going to be a battle, and game 5 is going to be in Vegas. So games 1 and 2 are in Vegas, 3, 4 New York, and if there's a game 5, it's in Vegas.
All right. Well, shout out to the Aces and shout out to Liberty. I am going to go Liberty in 5. I think New York stand the fuck up. What's up?
I'll say this. If New York wins the series, like, if you can go on FanDuel right now, and if there is, I wonder what the odds are for Sabrina to win MVP. Because if they win this series, she's going to shoot the lights out. Like, we're talking like Steph Curry kind of stuff. So if you want to put some money on Sabrina winning Finals MVP,
how much is that on DraftKings?
Can someone look up it's got to be like plus 600, because Asia and Stu are going to be minus, And then, Sabrina might be your third option. No, Chelsea Gray, because Chelsea won it last year. So the odds are going to be Asia, Stewie, Chelsea. And then you're probably going to see like Kelsey Plum, Sabrina in that next tier. It's probably, I get plus 600 is my guess.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can. Finals.
But yes, Bam, I'm with you. I hope the Aces win. I hope Asia wins Finals MVP because that's the last trophy that's not in her case is Finals MVP. That's it.
So currently, Asia is the favorite to win it.
Yep.
Stewie is plus 280.
Yep.
Sabrina Ionescu is plus 1,000.
Okay.
So
I was way off.
$10 for her to win.
Get you 100.
100. So don't know if I'd do that. Maybe I'd do that.
I mean, it's if they win, Sabrina's averaging 25 and she's hitting 6 threes a game. Because that's how they've beaten Vegas this year. Sabrina's been the X factor.
My only question is, WNBA, why are you putting your best product on days when the country is watching NFL football?
Kyle just asked that question in the chat, and I don't know why, man. If you're the WNBA
on Tuesdays and
Fridays, Tuesday, Friday, because Saturday's college football. Like you start the finals on Tuesday, and you play every Tuesday and Friday. That gives 3 days of rest. And then, so game 1 would be in Vegas on Tuesday. Game 2 would be on Friday in Vegas. You got 5 days to travel to New York. Game 3 is on Tuesday. Game 4 is on Friday. And you get to travel back 5 more days to travel to Vegas. I don't know, man.
I don't like it. Maybe there's some playoff baseball.
Yeah, maybe. But if you're the WNBA, I would challenge baseball. I don't go against the NFL. I don't go against college football, but I'll challenge baseball.
I would too. Speaking of baseball, if you can't see behind us, behind me, ladies and gentlemen, we do have playoff baseball.
Let's go.
Danny, I'm not the biggest baseball head. I don't take you as one either. Nope. But I wanted to read the MLB playoff field, and let's just pick a World Series matchup based on who the fuck knows.
All right, let's do it. Let me look at the bracket.
I'm trying to find the bracket my damn self.
Here we go. Oh wow. So it looks like Atlanta, the Dodgers, Houston, and the Orioles are on a bye right now. Behind you is Marlins and Phillies. The winner of that will face Atlanta, and then the Diamondbacks and the Brewers would face the Dodgers. On the other side, the Rangers play the Rays. The winner of that series plays Baltimore. The Blue Jays and the Twins will play, and the winner of that plays Houston. You go first. I'm still thinking.
Listen, now let me tell you about bullpens, ERAs, IPAs, WWEs, and DNAs. And after I've explained all these metrics to you, my World Series matchup, I have the Braves versus the Orioles.
Okay.
The Braves versus the Orioles. The Braves have been really, really good. Well, actually, yes. The Braves versus the Orioles. I like it. The Braves versus the Orioles are the two best teams. The best team from the ALCS, best teams from the NLCS. I think the Braves, they won the most games this year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Baltimore. But I will say this. So I'm sticking with my matchup: Braves versus Baltimore.
Okay.
But 2 honorable mentions, one from each conference. I'm with Gladys. Watch out for the Phillies, Bryce Harper. If the bats get hot again, they can make a run to the World Series. And then from the ALCS, maybe watch out for the Minnesota Twins. I think Minnesota is hurting because PJ Fleck don't know what the fuck he doing at Minnesota, and Kirk Cousins might get ran out of the building. I think the Twins give the city of Minneapolis something to cheer about, potentially. So watch out for them.
One thing I've learned is it doesn't matter how much they cheat, they find a way on top. So I'm going Houston, Phillies in the World Series. I would love to say Houston, Atlanta, but Atlanta baseball is cursed. So Give me Phillies, Houston.
Didn't they just win the World Series last year?
Who?
The Braves.
Did they?
Brother,
Did.
I
Yeah,
believe they did.
They did. They did.
So,
You're right.
you're talking about some they cursed. They're the reigning champions and the number 1 seed. What are you talking about?
I don't watch baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, if
Dog.
we refer to the beginning of this section, we don't know what the fuck we're talking
We don't
about.
know what the fuck we're talking. I'll go with the
That's
Phillies. That's funny. That is hilarious. Someone's like, you know what? I'm not listening to this ever again.
Yeah, bro, I promise you, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Listen, talking a little college football, Colorado versus USC, Southern Cal.
Yes.
Started off ugly, very ugly. So ugly, I was like, this has got to be racist. There's got to be racist. There's got to be some. I was literally searching for racist ways to say Lincoln Riley does not like black people.
Yes.
Like the way I was looking at my camera, the way Kanye looked at the camera when he told, same thing. But I will say this. I learned more from Colorado that game than I did Southern Cal.
Yes. Well, I learned a lot about both. I'll say I learned equal from both.
Yo, Southern Cal, wrap it up, dog. I swear to God, as soon as y'all play somebody that's competent on defense and maybe even in the same ballpark offensively, y'all are going to get ran out the building again. This is going to happen. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know, if you come from the Mike Leach coaching tree, they don't believe in defense.
Nope. Well,
take me to the last time Mike Leach won a national championship.
So here, USC's next 3 games. They're at home against Arizona, whatever, at Notre Dame, and then they play Utah at home. And then 2 weeks after that, they play Washington.
In Salt Lake City?
No, Utah is in Southern Cal. And then 2 weeks after that, they play Washington and Oregon in back-to-back weeks. We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure out something. Dion, that game against Southern Cal let me know one thing about Coach Prime and his team. When they get an offensive line that can block, a defensive line that can get after the quarterback, and a few more offensive dogs, Colorado's going to soon become one of the better teams.
Dion, you need to go to the Midwest and get some of those boys that you may question if they use a hard ER. Those are your offensive linemen.
Okay, because I'm here. Listen, I'm glad you said that. Now I'm going to take a step back from college football. Brian Daboll.
Hilarious.
Listen, Brian Daboll, Frank Wright, few other coaches out here. Brian Daboll, Frank Wright, and Zach Taylor. Y'all are the 3 I want to talk to. Please come to the forefront. I'd like to talk. This is all I'm going to say. There's not enough questionable racists guarding your quarterback. What do you mean when you say that?
Yes.
You need them good old boys. The pull up pulling up to the spot in the pickup trunk, letting the try this in my small town. Them guys.
Yes.
The fishermen's during the summers. Them brothers. Showing up to games in overalls. Them brothers. Brothers that start sentences with you people. Those are the ones that need to be protecting your quarterback. The ones getting after your quarterback, they need to come from lower income families. Maybe in a city environment.
Whoa, now you're talking like Dion.
Maybe from a broken home. Maybe they're missing a family member. Why? Because they need that toughness to get to the fucking quarterback by any means necessary.
Jesus.
You think I'm lying? Look at some of the best.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Look at some of the best.
Aiden Hutchinson seemed to come from a great home, and he's one of the best pass rushers.
E. White. The standard different. I'm talking about. Listen, stop it. You need to go find a little bit more urban in your defensive line, a little more rural in your offensive line. Listen,
bam.
For your skill position players, you need to go find basketball. Go find hybrid athletes, basketball players that play football players that also run track. Those are your best skill position players because they're shifty. That's all I'm saying. Whatever football product the Giants, the Bengals, and the Panthers are putting out there, it's not good. So I hear y'all in the comments. Wow. Bam said I sound like Uncle Ruckus, but we need more Richie Incognitos in the league protecting our quarterbacks.
Oh,
you need the nastiness.
why don't you just go straight to Aaron Hernandez?
No, we don't need those types. We do not. Okay, when I say gritty and dogs, I don't mean them. We don't need the Aaron Hernandez types. Although no, we don't need the Aaron Hernandez types. No.
We need the Pouncey brothers.
Yes, more Pouncey brothers, more Richie Incognitos. We need more Vontaze Burficts. We need more dogs.
Oh, we need more CTE.
See, y'all don't want to listen. Y'all want CTE? Listen, what Future say? You want to cry in that Bentley or that Nissan? Y'all want to cry with a ring? You know, I ain't gonna finish after that.
Speaking
last thing I'm saying about the NFL. While some of these coaches, I'm asking y'all to reevaluate your personnel and where you're finding them. The league as a whole, I'm gonna need y'all to do one thing. Stop clout chasing Taylor Swift. I don't know who this white woman is. I don't care what she wrote. She ain't wrote a damn thing for Beyonce. She ain't wrote a damn thing for Mike. She ain't wrote a damn thing for Prince. She ain't wrote nothing for Earth, Wind, and Fire. She ain't wrote nothing for Rihanna. Listen, she ain't beat nobody in coverage. She has never taken the top on the defense. She does not know how to beat man coverage. She don't know how to read motherfucking coverage. Stop showing her.
She know how to beat man coverage. Hold on now.
Not unless it's a double team. She does not know how to. We need to stop. NFL. I'm tired of it. Y'all didn't show Isaiah Pacheco's touchdown dance because y'all showed me rich white people celebrating the touchdown. Most of them didn't even watch the damn time. Stop it. I get it. The jersey sales are going up. Cool. Keep that on social media. But during my 7 hours of commercial-free football, I don't want to see no Taylor Swift. I'm
Chris
tired
Collinsworth
of this shit.
was so moist Sunday night talking about Taylor Swift.
Chris Collinsworth, brother, I know your pants was. I know you were just over there erect the whole time talking about her. He couldn't believe it.
He couldn't believe he was breathing the same air as Taylor Swift.
I know. Chris Collinsworth, do me a favor. Go look at Travis Kelce's last ex and some of the assets she had on her.
Mike,
she was a model and a fitness instructor. She had assets.
Completely random.
Are you hating? Stop it.
Completely random. But I was thinking about Mike Tirico. Do you know Mike Tirico does not think he's black? He thinks he's Italian.
Listen, your name could be Mike Tirico or Micah Terrashon. You are black.
Mike Bambino, doesn't matter.
Mike Tirico, take your ass to Italy and tell me how they look at you. I watched Sopranos. Tony Stark. I mean, not Tony Stark. Tony Soprano passed out looking at a box of Uncle Ben's rice. Please, Mike Tirico, take your ass to Italy and tell me if they don't look at you any differently. Now, please also let me know how Italy is because I will be visiting next May for my birthday. But at least I know they don't like me. Mike Tirico, what the fuck?
Yes, Mike Tirico once said that he wasn't sure if he's black. He thinks he is an Italian guy from Queens.
Bam said Babe Ruth was black. I heard the same thing about Beethoven. Kyle said, if you're the NFL, you can't blame them. How many stupid marketing tricks they have tried to pull that didn't do squat? You right. Sleeper, if you ever replace Travis Kelce's face with Taylor Swift, I'm going to let you know I'm nuking every league.
Nah, turn that up. That was hilarious.
That
was hilarious.
That
was hilarious.
It was what I was in there. I was like, what the fuck is this white bitch doing to my fucking sleep app? ESPN, you try that shit, it's up.
Yeah, ESPN, your app is not good enough to do something like that.
Yeah. And shame on anyone out here who still thinks that Sleeper is not the superior app to ESPN. That's so. All right, last couple things. Zach Wilson took complete responsibility for the loss to the Chiefs Sunday night. Do you think this growth is a big deal or no deal?
I mean, who cares? They ass.
See,
But that's not the
you
first
damned
time
if you do and you damned if you don't.
So here's the thing about Zach.
You killed them when he didn't say nothing.
This isn't the first time he's taken responsibility for a loss, right? He's gone to the podium multiple times, like, yeah, this one's on me. So,
but did you watch this one though?
No, I don't watch.
I watched the press conference.
This one was sincere.
My brother was standing at that podium, sick as hell, because you know what he kept saying? We would have won. Like, he basically said, "Yeah, we would have had a way better chance to win that game." He basically said, "Yeah, we would have won the game had I not
fumbled a snap." Yes, you are correct.
And yeah, he was up there sick as hell, saying, "Yo, when the defense plays like that, and we're making plays on offense like we did, that's not what we do." And you know what? When I heard that, I said, "You know what, Zach, you might fuck around and win this locker room just off of grit and hard work."
They have the Broncos on Sunday, so which is great because I have to start Zach Wilson in fantasy. So here we go.
Reports say that Aaron Rodgers is ahead of his rehab time. Rodgers, keep on fucking around. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. You are not Cam Akers. I'm telling you, that's what they telling them. That's what they telling them.
Bam in the chat's talking about how he called Travis Kelce fires a boy, which is hilarious because the owner of the Jets is the heir to the Johnson & Johnson fortune. So the man that cut your checks.
Woody Johnson? Oh.
Yes. The man who cuts the checks for the Jets, a.k.a. Aaron Rodgers' salary, his company produced a vaccine during the pandemic. Just thought that was
funny. Hell did Rodney Harrison say? So that's what I've been hearing. I don't think I heard exactly what he said.
I didn't hear exactly what it is. I think he tried to bait Chris Jones into agreeing that Zach Wilson was garbage and Chris Jones wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't do it either. Why? It's too easy. You think I'm gonna give the Broncos something to have to deal with the next week? Nah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But I would say this. Rodney Harrison has spoken his mind a lot on a lot of players, so I don't.
Oh, he on his way out.
You think so?
NBA Sunday Night Football can't have but too many black people. You got Tony, you got Rodney, and now you got Mike, Italian, Tarico.
And Maria.
You can. And Maria. Someone can go.
Pregnant girl. Go ahead now.
No, we don't stop lusting after pregnant married women. Come on, man. Have some shame.
She married? Kyle said that it was like watching tape on Wilson. Did you guys laugh? And
yeah. No, that's a funny question. No, that's funny. He shouldn't have to apologize for being
First off, Rodney Harrison, you messy ass asking that question. Last thing, Edge is in AEW, Jade Cargill is in WWE, LA Knight is teaming up with John Cena to take on the Bloodline. Jey Uso's teaming up with Cody Rhodes to take on Judgment Day for the tag team championships. Shinsuke versus Seth in a last man standing for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I don't know where the fuck Roman Reigns is. He's basically saying, I'm too good for this shit right now.
Yep.
Thoughts on the landscape of pro wrestling?
We are getting WrestleMania level storylines and matches in October. This is like
Survivor Series on the way.
Huh?
Survivor Series on the way.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, we're like, I can't wait to see Jade. I'm afraid they're going to put Jade against Rhea Ripley from the jump. Well, she's going to be on SmackDown. So who do you just don't feed her to Becky Lynch?
So this is what I think. She's going to be on SmackDown because you can't put her on Raw with Rhea. So you have to put her on SmackDown. But then you look at the women's division on SmackDown. Bayley, Charlotte, Asuka, Shotzi, who is the champion, and then Bianca Belair, I believe, when she's healthy.
So here's the thing: this is going to happen. Charlotte's going to beat Shotzi.
It's a triple threat match.
Wait, what?
So it was Charlotte versus Shotzi, but then Bayley got to talking and said, "Oh, well, you could add another person to it." And that's when Asuka got added. So it's a triple threat.
Oh, okay. Either way, Charlotte's going to win because for some reason Charlotte can't get her own storyline unless it's revolved around the belt in some form or fashion. And then Jade needs to come in. Dog, the aesthetic of Jade beating Charlotte ass for 30 minutes. Sign me up.
I actually think they're going to have either Asuka win the belt back or Shotzi keep the belt and Jade challenge it.
Okay, so Jade's going to win at Survivor Series from one of those.
And I also think at Survivor Series, we may, in a strange, distant world, we may be trending to either a bloodline reunion
Yes. Oh, yes.
or the most random. If we get a bloodline reunion, I think either way, whether it's a bloodline reunion or what I'm about to say, these matches are going to be contested in war games. So have that in context when I say what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I think we're either going to have a bloodline reunion or the most random mashup of fucking Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jay
I hope
Uso, and Jay Uso, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, and John Cena versus no. I think it's gonna. Here's what I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be, if it's not a bloodline reunion, I think it's gonna be fucking Jay Uso, Cody Rhodes, and then Kevin and Sammy versus fucking the Judgment Day. And then I think the second match would be Roman, Jimmy, Solo versus John Cena and AJ Styles' crew.
I'm going to say Cody and Jay win the tag team titles. They hold them until the Rumble. Jay turns on Cody. Remember the whole finish the story foolishness? Jay turns on Cody, drops the belt, rejoins the bloodline, and then we can get Cody Roman rematch at WrestleMania. Finish the story, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think they're. Listen, I think someone has going to have to show Vince that they can take the belt from Roman and carry it. I don't know.
Cody. You don't think Cody can?
I think Cody. Listen, maybe it's because I'm a fan of Roman. I think Shinsuke is going to beat Seth to set up Shinsuke versus Cody. I think Cody will win the World Heavyweight Championship belt before.
I don't want to see Shinsuke with the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth, but again, Seth has had stories that doesn't revolve around the belt, so Seth can survive without the belt, unlike Charlotte. Charlotte without the belt is on vacation.
Rhea Ripley, good God, put it on me.
She said, if you don't win the belt, don't come home to me. Oh, Dom was so heartbroken.
I'll be there.
It's crazy because Rhea's engaged to another man in real life. I know he hurting.
When I saw that man, I said, "Oh, yeah, she looked like, yeah." Then I started looking at more of her posts, and she was posting like mad heavy metal and rock stuff, and I was like, "Oh, she is Australian, isn't she?" Yeah, no, they don't like black people over there. No, let me not say that. Yes, they do. Actually, I don't know. Do it?
I don't plan on going to Australia.
No. Bam, I'm with you. Rhea's the only reason I watched you. Danny, what a hell of a show. What a funny show. A lot of interesting things were discussed. A lot of interesting things.
I enjoyed it.
Listen, people, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us. You know, where's my shit at? You were here with us tonight. I got to play this because of my boy. Let him, so you can let that shit go. Listen, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you was here with us. And we can't do nothing but appreciate it. Make sure you follow the pod at @SpeakOnIt_pod on Twitter, on Instagram, on IG. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube at Los D-Mix. Dan, let me tell you something. I'm gonna pause this. Last night, so I've been working on my first official like set list for like my DJ and stuff. And last night I tried this setup that I had been working on when I went to LA last time. And it didn't sound bad.
We're streets waiting.
Didn't sound bad. It's funny. I be recording all these like little mixes, and I usually just put them on SoundCloud as like private links. I might send you one.
Yes, I would love to hear it. I think it's just gonna be one track. One show is just gonna be you spinning.
Maybe we could do that.
Streets need it.
Listen. Thank you guys. Danny, let the people know where to find you.
Find me on the Burn app, Danny Ocean 41. Like D said, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, @SpeakOnIt_pod, TikTok as well. I posted the poll earlier in the show. So far, everyone has agreed with me that Donovan McNabb is better than Eli Manning.
Trust me. Wait till I get some real football analysts in here.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll come back next week. and see what the people have said.
Bam, if it's trash, you deserve to boo. You deserve to boo. I'm going to get better at
Bam.
this. I'm going to get better at this. DJing is not easy, but it's just not easy. Very
You got
technical.
it. I believe in you.
Lot of practice. Listen,
That's it.
we gotta let that
We'll catch
hurt
y'all
go,
next
my boy.
week.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen,
Never.
if you are delusional and still think that Donovan McNabb is actually a good quarterback, better than a two-time Super Bowl champion, stop playing. Just like my man said right here, you're hurting and you jaded, and you don't want to admit it because I know it's tough to admit a division rival had a better quarterback. But trust me, you asked
five
people
votes
who play quarterback, asked them to evaluate Eli versus Donovan McNabb, they would laugh Donovan McNabb. They would laugh his name right out of the conversation.
I disagree.
Put Donovan McNabb's name in that conversation with like Sam Bradford. That's where it deserves.
Oh, whoa. Now, bye, y'all. Be blessed.
Stop playing.
Y'all be easy, man. This motherfucker.